I'm going to show you how to take your nails from this to this with all of my simple steps that I take to prep my nails ready for acrylic or gel. First up, you're going to start with your Hoofed cuticle pusher. This is the softest way to push back those cuticles and be gentle on the nail plate. So we're just going to go ahead and push everything back. You want to make sure you are being firm but also gentle at the same time, and you aren't pressing down into the nail plate, otherwise you are going to cause damage, which we definitely don't want. We're trying to look after our nails to the best that we possibly can. So you're going to do that on all of the nails, ensuring that everything is pushed back. If you need to go over the nails a couple of times, that's absolutely fine. I always like to do that, and I'll even come in later on with the same tool and do it again just to make sure everything is as I want it. Next up, I'm coming in with my Cuticle Clean Efile bit, and I'm just going to go ahead and run this around the cuticle area on the nails. I found this one of the gentlest bits for cuticle prep and cuticle work. I've been using it for literally like 13 years. Absolutely love it. I'm obsessed. I mean, obviously I'm not using the same one for 13 years. You do have to change it every so often, but the same bit I've just kept in my routine. It is so good and it just does such a great job. So I'm being very delicate and gentle, running it around the cuticle area, but making sure it has contact with the nail plate. And you do want to make sure the whole of the Efile bit is touching the nail plate and it isn't just the tip of it, because if you are just touching the tip of this to the nail plate, you might find that you are actually digging it in, which when you come to either take off your nails or remove the set or an infill, you might find that you have dips or ridges in the nails, and sometimes that can be from where you have your Efile pointed at the wrong angle, even a hand file, and it's just caused a little bit of damage there. I do like to go forward one way and then reverse and go the other way around the nails. This way I just get the best, most, in there prep. You know what I'm saying? I get to do both sides very thoroughly and evenly as well. So the prep is the same on both sides of the nail. So work my way around, do that, and then I will switch that off and we can move on to the next step. So I had a little bit of cuticle that was stuck, so I made sure to brush off any dust so I could see what I was doing. And I'm coming in with the Russian cuticle tool from Glitter Planet, and because this is such a sharp end, which you do need to be careful with, it allows you to remove and lift up any stuck cuticle from that nail plate. I wouldn't necessarily use it to push back the cuticles because it is slightly sharper than you'd want it to be and very easy to cause damage. So you're just using it to lift up any stuck cuticle that is being a little bit stubborn. Once you've done that, you can come in and then do the nippers, which is what I'm doing now. Using the nippers, I'm coming round the cuticle area and we are just nipping away any loose areas that are there. We aren't cutting any of the living tissue, just the non-living tissue that is around that nail. Making sure to tidy it up nicely. Take your time on this bit. You want to make sure that you are being precise and that you are not cutting yourself or your client, and you are doing a thorough job. So it's okay to do it in little stages, little bits. Make sure you keep removing any bits off the nail so you can clearly see where you are working. So yeah, I'm just going to go across each nail, removing that, and then we can move on to the next step. Also, if you are finding this video helpful and you are taking notes and enjoying all the tips and tricks, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and also leave me in the comments what you want to see next from me. Now that I've finished doing that, I'm going to come in again with my hoof pusher, and I'm just going to go ahead and really make sure that everything is as I want it. The shape of the cuticle is how I want it as well. I love doing steps multiple times just because I feel like I get a really nice, finished, crisp cuticle shape. I want it to be even and look very appealing to the eye, if you know what I'm saying. Sometimes when I haven't done my cuticle work for a long time, I find that they can go on an angle, little bits have grown longer than others. So I do really like to do this very, very thorough and more than once, like I said. So once I've done that, I will come in with my next Efile bit, which is the barrel bit. This is the diamond barrel, and I just love it for, again, tidying up that cuticle that bit further, but it also does prep that nail plate a bit as well. So I'm just using this on a very low speed, and I'm just walking it around that cuticle. This is also going to help push back a little bit further in areas that it may need it and tidy it up further to be exactly how I like it. Remember, I'm doing this with my non-dominant hand as well. So obviously, normally, if you are working on a client, you'd be using your dominant hand, and this process would be much easier. This is why I'm kind of keeping my hand still, moving the Efile bit, and just working very, very slowly and very precise. I'm just going to do that on all of the nails, and as you can see, I'm only working at a slow speed of 5 RPM. Again, I do come in forward and reverse for this step, just to make it much easier going down the other side of the nail and make sure I'm doing it evenly. So once I've done that on all of the nails, I will come in with my next step, which is going to be moving over to a hand file. I'm using the 240 grit hand file for the natural nail, and I'm just coming in with an old file just to remove the sharps from the side so that you're not going to cut yourself. You should do that with every new file just to make sure that when you're going down those side walls, you don't cut yourself or your client. Next up, I'm just buffing the surface of the nail and also going to be tidying up that free edge so that it's nice and neat. If you aren't coming in with any sort of enhancement afterwards and you're just leaving them plain, all I would do is go over them with a sponge buffer and then add some oil. That's going to give you a nice, clean, manicured look. But also, by tidying up that free edge, if you're going to come in with your builder gel, it gives you a great finish and a great starting point to monitor the growth. But also, if you are coming in with acrylic and you're going to apply nail tips or sculpt, it's the best position to start from. Those nails need to be as short as they can in the natural state. So I'm going over all of the nails, buffing off that surface, and also at this point I'm tidying up the cuticle area and any skin that has grown down the nail, and I'm just rounding them off just to give them their natural shape. I'm not keeping any of the length, even if they are a nice square. Like if I could file them into a nice square, I'm still going to round off those sides and just tidy them all up so they're quite even. Once I finished prepping my nails, I went over to the sink and washed them with some hand soap and warm water. This is the best way to get rid of any dust and debris, because cleaning all the time with the hand sanitizer isn't a great move. And yeah, that's how I prep my nails ready for my acrylic and gel.